Okay, everyone, right, here we are with Her Story. It's it's Her Story. I guess it's a game, puzzle game. I don't know much about it. It involves lots of full motion video, so very much a sort of one that's a bit not really around these days, I guess you'd say. But I've always wanted to play. It's been on like iPhones and iPads and Android devices and things, but on free on Xbox Live, so I thought, why not give it a go? So we'll see, shall we? Let's get started. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it sounds like we're watching a recording of some kind. So I guess we're watching recordings of this lady. And we have to get to the bottom of whatever's going on, I guess. Search terms murder. Okay. You are logged in as auth, yeah. Okay, I was going to say administrator, but murder. Solution? Nothing, okay, I thought, maybe. Okay, murder then, go on, why not? Murder. Alright, okay. Just see evidence. Let's just try random other things. There you go, evidence, look at that. Alright, well, it wants us to do ending. Ending. I mean, is that just the ending to the game? What do you reckon? Alright, well, there's a few things for murder. I'm tempted just to go ending, but alright, let's just do it. I assume he wants us to watch these first. Let's do it. Okay. Use text blank. Play.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Alright. I don't know if this is the whole game. It could just literally be the whole game. It's just searching for stuff. Alright, let's see.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Alright.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Right, Simon, murder 2 months ago.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Okay. Not sure how offensive she sounds for someone who's been accused of murder, but then maybe, who knows. Alright, well, let's... Okay, so I don't know if that's it. Let's just see the ending one then, see what this says.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and the Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
No idea. Oh, it's a happy ending. Okay, right, we've got an achievement for that. But well, strange. How would you know it's Rapunzel if the hair had already been chopped off? I don't know. There's obviously some ending, beginning.
Yes, like a story. A beginning, a middle, and an end.
Okay, let's try middle then. Oh, there's nothing there. Well, is that it? Do we do anything else? Is this the whole game? Oh, there's some text. Really read me. Rubbish bin. Log off. Okay, well, let's have a look at the readmes then, shall we? Okay, introduction to the logic database. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The logic database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be the most valuable item in your crime-fighting toolkit. So this is like 94 it's based in, isn't it? So, database contains footage transfers from the existing homicide and serious crime tape archives at Portsmouth. It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately so it can be tagged for submission to court. Right, so you've got to put tags on. The audio has been digitally stenographed and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. To retrieve a clip, type in a word, e.g. robbery, into the search field. Click search and the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. Do not search down, use multiple words, e.g. robbery supermarket. If you are working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted comma search for exact match. It's a test statement, e.g. yes, I was there. Okay, to store a clip for later reference, click add to session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags to your own, of your own top fixture sessions, please use user tags. Okay. For any further assistance, please contact Department's Information to our representative. Alright. And really read me. Hey, here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get your request access. You guessed access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos of the original tapes in 1999 and then the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. No one has touched them since. I couldn't find a server with the detective's footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97. I figured this would be enough. Take your time. Mirror game, hack. One for the mums here. Classic two-player strategy for lunch you can enjoy. Okay. Mirror game. Or is it just Minesweeper? Alright. DB checker. Don't know what that is. Okay. There's a clock. Alright, well, there we go. Alright. Okay, right. Okay, so we got we typed in murder, Simon. Alright, Simon. 61 entries found. There's 5 entries.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things.
Simon Smith.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome.
Rome. Just come back from Rome. Okay.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
There's lots of names here. Peter, Helen, Simon. I don't want to... Shall I make a note of all this? Rock Arms, Peter, Helen, Simon, Smith. I've just been making a note of the stuff, basically. All right.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one.
Amstrad one?
No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
I can't remember who's died now. Is it Simon that's died? I can't remember now.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Like when the ticking of the clock coincides with the time on there. Alright, so Simon Smith this time. Alright, literally just one. Okay. Let's try Peter. Right, Helen. Okay.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Helen was blonde. I'll say she's blonde. Rock arms and some rock or something, so... Okay.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a
Is
job.
Eric as well?
He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Parents, so does Eric. Which was different here. Look at that.
Oh God, I don't know.
It's completely different.
I guess the Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone sang with you from the Rock.
The Rock. Right, well, let's try Eric. There's a few things for Eric. 14 entries.
He was wearing a shirt, with a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
So Eric's his boss. Right, okay.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier,
Okay, well,
and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
and keys, maybe. Alright, so we're getting somewhere. Oh, it seems natural, which is quite good. So Eric's his boss. There's a van Cavalier. We'll have a look at.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diane. We've got a few things to go on, haven't we now? A few things. Diane. There's a few things here.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year.
Okay.
It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, it must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Glasgow. Right, well, something.
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Okay. Now she's got a guitar.
Simon and Eric arguing?
Where's she got a guitar?
I can't imagine they'd be arguing. They get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Research. I think we did. Yes, we did there. Let's just have a guitar. Okay, well, she's actually playing it there, it looks like.
No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf. Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
Okay, what?
You want me to play something?
Not really.
I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No, it's okay.
Not the best guitar player. But she knows about tuning and stuff.
Right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So they both had enough of the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind.
Is this a police interview? And she's just.
Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. She pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind.
The whole song. I killed Simon last month. Oh, the wind and the rain. It wasn't Eric, it was me. Oh, the wind and the rain. Okay. Well, there we go. Well, we got an achievement as we thought we probably would. Right, so let's have a see. Glasgow. A lot going on in Glasgow.
I got in the car and I drove.
I don't know how we complete this game.
I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
Okay.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back.
Payphone might be something. Maybe.
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning. When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly.
Taxi.
And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving licence on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine.
Pregnant.
The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Hospital. Pregnant.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
All right.
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
Let's play some different music in the background now, I don't know. Hospital.
Ask the hospital.
That's the hospital. I would if I could.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital?
Alright. I don't really know what I'm meant to be doing in this game, you know. So what am I meant to be doing? There you go, that's all the things I've searched for, that's alright. What's this? Anti-glare filter. Okay. Did I search for taxi? I can't remember.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
Let's just try Eve, why not? Okay.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
So I killed her. Okay, right.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater.
Oh, goodness me.
There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it out.
I wish you did kill her.
And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown.
I don't think I'll be saying that really to the police.
But that was it. It was just a moment.
Yeah, just joking.
We were made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
Dear God. Oh, who's Hannah?
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Oh, she's Hannah. Okay. Right. Okay, that's it. Is that Morse code? Oh, I found a new Morse code. Let's just see. Let's just play that again. See what she does. It sounds a bit too obvious, doesn't it, that?
What are you doing talking about Eve?
That's too much, that. It looks like it's Morse code, doesn't it? But it's too convenient, isn't it, to not be Morse code. Just try one last time. It won't play it. Oh, okay. Just trying to make notes of what it is. I'm not sure. It's going to be Morse code, but it's just hard to know what she's actually saying. Let's have a look. I'll just have a look. Morse code on this side. See if we can. We should dot dot dot. I think at first, but I don't know the spaces and things like that. It's very hard to. Dot dot dot. That's S, isn't it? I think so. Maybe she spelled Simon. Don't know. Just a dash, maybe. Is there a word for a single dash? T. Yes, and 5 dots, maybe. I think it's 5 dots. It's P. STSP. That doesn't seem to mean anything. Another P maybe, and 2 dashes. TT. P. There's 4 dashes, 4 dots. H. Well, I don't know. STSP, let's just search for that. So just search for that. It's Eve. It looked like Morse code, but I couldn't decipher it.
My mother called me Eve.
My mother called me Eve.
My mother called me Eve.
That doesn't make any sense. Eve was a main friend. She says her name was Hannah.
My name is Hannah. Hannah. It's a palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though, it's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith, I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
That's it.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry. Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time.
Ah, so the twins, okay.
The
There's
midwife
different
was
people.
there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead.
I was going to say, I wonder if they were twins, but I didn't think
But
they
I
were,
wasn't.
because she said it was a friend.
She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Okay, so...
She recognised me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Okay. So obviously, Eve is the one with the hair tied back, and Hannah's the one with the hair down.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy.
So this is Hannah.
Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there. Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
So I don't know what's the ending to this game. It seems to change music depending on what you've done. You know.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Rapunzel.
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights. Okay, nothing there. All right. Rapunzel. How do you spell Rapunzel?
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
Alright.
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
Okay, so she's like Rorschach type card or something.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more.
I mean,
than
maybe
the
this is
actual
just a
stories.
game. You know, you don't
You
actually
could read aloud the captions
complete it.
and
I don't know.
flip between pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Alright. Let's try a twin, shall we?
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Okay.
Are you out of your mind? Twins? Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Unless she isn't. This one did die.
There were always princes and
She's got a
princesses.
split personality.
They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Alright, well. Florence.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
So did one go across the road? What was that?
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Alright, well, okay.
No. It was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
Okay, well, I'm not really sure. Let's see. Her story.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me.
Okay.
They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Okay. Throat.
His body did not real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear.
Was that it? She slit his throat with a mirror?
On his throat. How? Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
Alright, well, I don't know where to go from now. You know, because husband's trying to find out who did it, but that's
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not books so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
alright.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while.
Got a bruise.
The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me. But on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me. No, I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Alright, Bruce?
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. I mean, it hurt like hell.
Okay.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes.
I've no idea who's who then now.
I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body. If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match.
Okay.
Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. But she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snapped a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Okay.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first.
Carl.
She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses.
Very bizarre pair of people.
After a while, we decided that
It's
I
not
should
ahead,
take
of
Hannah's
course.
virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush.
That was unexpected.
After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon. This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Okay, very bizarre pair, so...
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15. No, I was 15. Carl was older. 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family. Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date, we went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had the one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back.
And they're a pair of nutters,
After
basically.
that, it was Hannah's turn, and
That's the gist of it.
she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
Rules.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know. Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation.
Okay.
It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. And we would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them. It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him. We didn't share him like the others. The rules had changed. Me living in the attic had become weird, in a way it hadn't been before.
That's bizarre, isn't it? Just living in the attic, swapping about. Yep. I'm jealous. Attic.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope. Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly in the living room. Nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. Is that enough?
Doug and Eleanor. Okay. I mean, I don't know where it's going with this. I mean, you know, how long are we going to keep at it?
1984. It was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave.
It happened in 1984.
So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful.
It killed Doug and Eleanor.
Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
Forensic entomologist. Right, yeah.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you.
Wasn't that...
That enough?
Wasn't that exactly what the other one said here?
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped those months.
Not sure. I feel like I'd heard that statement before.
Okay. I parked up on the street.
Yeah.
I looked quickly in the living room.
That's the same. It's the same one, isn't it? That both saying where they were and they both walked in, but they're both basically saying the same thing. They're both there, basically, or I don't know if it's the same person or not. I don't know, but let's see. Let's see. What did I discover? Don't know.
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers.
Because the parents were
Derek had given a
talking now,
full-time
huh?
position after he left school. And then
Miscarriage.
no, I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Well, they were dead.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents. Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage, the worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck. Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
Oh dear. Well,
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us. There's always been pressure. I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, you know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside.
Reader's Digest.
And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
We could talk. You were swapping about with your sister, honestly.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Nope. There you go. Forensic, okay. Well, dinner lady. Well, to be honest with you, I don't really know what I've got to do, really. You know what I mean? You know, what does it want me to do? Build a finish reform. Okay. I mean, I don't really know what else it wants me to do, really, you know. Kind of got the gist of what happened now. I have no idea if There were loads for that.
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle. I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the glaziers.
I mean, that's Morse code things annoying me, you know. It definitely was.
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier who doesn't have much money. I mean, I don't know.
All right, well, I mean... Yeah, I don't know. Confession? Nothing for that.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it.
Okay, well, there you go.
The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Okay. Sell it.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Well, they both did it sounds like, doesn't it? But there we go, yeah.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen, you can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
Yeah.
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I'd been burgled. Only worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
Okay, well there you go, yeah. Bin bags. Cremation.
Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house. Hannah served up sandwiches, and I stayed out of sight.
And there we go, right? So, yeah, I don't really know. So we've got Morse code. Morse. Just thought that might have been the Morse code thing. Yeah, I don't know. Strange one. I don't really know. I mean, can we even complete this game? You know, that's the is there anything we can? When does the game end? So basically I think you just keep going. The main story. So I think we kind of got the gist of it there, you know, I don't know, kind of plotted to kill this husband. Well, one of them did at least anyway, because she was jealous. Because he ruined the bond that they had. You know, I don't know if they colluded with it. One of them seems to say they did, but you know. It's about collusion. No, don't know. Yeah, so I don't know really. I think that's about it really. I don't think there might be more, but what else do I search for? You know, I don't know. Let's just try watch, I guess. Let's just see.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Determined to that Morse code bit, but is it the Hannah one? Where she was on this one here. Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, so I wonder if one's different words are separated by the hands, maybe. I don't know. It's about to try, I don't know, it could be a number of things. I tried to do it, but I could look online and find out what it is. I feel like it's a bit cheating, that really, but I'm going to have a look because it's going to be impossible to interpret that correctly because it's just difficult. I think it says Bad Hannah or something, apparently. Yeah, there we go. Let's type in Bad Hannah, see what happens. Okay, doesn't do anything. Alright. I think there's another one apparently in it as well. Okay, maybe by Hannah, I think it is. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, don't know if it's the same person or she was just one person with a split personality, which could have been the case as well, which might spare the by Hannah bit. I think it's Morse code as well. There's kind of different types of it as well, so it's a bit of a with a payment. Mainly seems to be the same, but yeah, I don't know. But right, well there we go. Probably was split personality, might not have been. Probably was, I don't know, but killed the husband either way. Pretended to live in the attic, one of them did, I'm not sure. Probably didn't. Because I say that might explain the split personality, but very strange. But there we go, I think we kind of got the gist of it. There's probably more to it to uncover, maybe more precise things, but I think we'll just be floundering about now. So, interesting, yeah. But yeah, so I'd say possibly twin sisters, probably not though. As in, probably a split personality. Seem to have claim an alibi, but then didn't have an alibi, you know, because it says in Glasgow or something. But then the other sister says they were at the same place. So, but I'd say maybe there's. Well, it does have a tattoo though, so I don't know. It could have been got later. Didn't check the timestamps of that. Could just have a look at tattoo. A few things here.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Okay, well, there you go.
So I moved out. Got a small bed set. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings. So I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
So she's saying she doesn't exist there.
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him.
Snake and apple.
It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time.
This is Hannah as well, I don't know. Maybe it does.
He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Well, there we go. Alright, well there we are. I'm not sure. As I say, just be floundering about a bit more. Interesting game, I guess. You know, just finding out the story, I guess. Their story. So there we go. Yeah. Well, as I say, I could be trying to do more and more stuff. I don't think there's much point. A snake and apple. Let's have a look just in case. This is it. It keeps dragging you in, doesn't it? Alright, there we go. Yeah. Alright. Right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed that, a bit of a strange one. Not a game as such, but an experience, I guess. Interesting. Guess we got the gist of roughly what happened. There might be more hidden bits, you know, but yeah, I think we've probably seen enough. Alright guys, take care, see you next time. Bye for now.